Hello and welcome to another episode of Moon Magic. I am Tracy Hawkner, and with me,
Heather Rowan Robbins, astrologer.
And today we are filming from an actual store. If you hear some hubbub going on in the background, rest assured it's supposed to be happening. Perfectly natural.
So we like to share with you our thoughts on the new moon and the full moon, how to work with it, both in an astrological sense and in a magical and intuitive sense. And the next full moon coming up is May 3rd here in the Midwest. It will be at 10:48 p.m. on May 3rd. And the full moon is in Scorpio. Of course, the moon is always full in the sign opposite the sun. And you know, May is the lusty month of May. It's earthy, it's Taurus, it's sensual. It's sensual like digging our toes into mud and feeling the petals falling on us and the smell of lilac when it first comes out. It's really time to get into the senses and to get healthy in our body, to work with the cleansing process. This full moon is all about cleansing, detoxing, letting go. It's the full moon in Scorpio. And it's not just our bodies that will detox. Our psyches will also be bringing up all the toxins. Scorpio likes to look under the rocks. It likes to notice where our possessiveness is, our resentment, all the shadow elements, as well as what we are fascinated by, what we obsess on, what our research is. So notice on this full moon that it might expose some of the seamy underbelly of your psyche and maybe of the culture too. But it's there for healing, it's there for release, it's there to detox. Think about that. And how would you say to work with this full moon?
Well, I was noticing that moon in Scorpio, and I was thinking, oh, Scorpio can be just wickedly observant. And when we put the moon in Scorpio, we're getting so emotionally aware and observant. Boy, I'm betting we're going to be able to tell exactly where each other's buttons are. And being very careful about whether or not we're pushing them, though. Just because you're aware of all of the emotional undercurrents doesn't mean you need to get in there and start messing with them. So I was thinking in terms of stones like howlite, which helps us reduce crabbiness edges, increases tactfulness, which I
very helpful with the moon in Scorpio full.
And then the snowflake obsidian is real good for helping us spot patterns, being aware of patterns. Make sure you're doing things on purpose, not just falling into reactionary patterns with things. And then in terms of oils, because I always like to work with some of our purpose oils, besides the obvious full moon oil, there is a peace blessing oil, which is to help just smooth everything as best we can. If we're going to be dredging up some of these very interesting emotional things during Taurus and Scorpio, let's make sure we're handling this as smoothly and in a healing manner as we can.
And that full moon in Scorpio, it brings up our desire nature. And there's one theory, they often say that Buddha was born on the second full moon of the year. Now, that's lovely, but not everybody agrees when the year starts. To an astrologer, the second full moon of the year would be this full moon, the full moon in Scorpio. And some Buddhists do celebrate it then. But for me, it fits very much the process of noticing our desire nature. That would have made the Buddha a Taurus moon in Scorpio, who came to understand the nature of desire, the nature of longing for something more than you want, and how to begin to release those longings to find the freedom and peace in the heart, and to reduce the distance between what you want and what you have, to learn to find the contentment and power in the moment. So notice this, the longing that comes up. Do you want to use it in a powerfully good way? Is it working for you? Is it an intent that you want to focus upon? That full moon can highlight this and help you bring your focus to that. If it's something that hurts you, how can you use this full moon to detox, to let it go, to notice those patterns and begin to create some room there? Mercury will also, what helps, Mercury and Venus are both in Gemini at the moment, which gives us a little bit more mental lightness and flexibility. So our minds can be skimming across the top, bantering, cheerful, funny.
A little more agile.
A little more agile, but our feelings are deep and musky. So we have to just be aware of the split and notice that if you say one thing and do another, or someone you see says, sure, I don't mind if you go out for the evening with your old male friend, and the vibe you're getting is very different, that both are true. Then that we can have a split reaction during this full moon. The Mercury is also opposed Saturn, which gives us mental durability. I want to hold on to something and really want to study something carefully. So it's good for investigative reporting because the full moon in Scorpio loves a mystery. And it's good for investigating the deeper places in ourselves, in our psyche, in our spiritual practice, and in the old ways. Wants to go back in and look. So think about what you want to study during this full moon. And Venus in Gemini, it's a very flirtatious time, but the Sun in Taurus, Moon in Scorpio can be kind of possessive, and so be very careful how you use that Venus in Gemini charm and flirtation quality, because it can get us in hot water and cause heart scalding where we don't need to do that. So use it with tact, care, and with your heart open.
And for those who enjoy working with the tarot, with tarot cards, I like to use one as a meditation focus now and then, the Knight of Cups. That's like the knight, the warrior of the heart chakra. That's a really good one for these sorts of murky things that we're dealing with in this particular full moon.
And that works with Jupiter is forming a T-square with the Sun and the Moon from Leo. And that will help us, if we want to, that can help us free up those feelings and be aware of what we want to release and let go. It can also bring a little extra melodrama along the way if we decide to go that direction. So choose how you use that Scorpio intensity with care.
Excellent.
And thank you. See you next moon.
So, beloved fans, thank you for joining us for another episode of Moon Magic. We will be doing this every couple of weeks, and you'll want to keep up. Subscribe to videos. If everything's gone correctly, there should be a clickable link here. Subscribe to the videos. The store itself can be found anytime. eyeofhorus.biz. Don't lose track of us. During the videos, we are constantly yattering about candles and stones and oils. Oh my. Stuff can be had, and we're not afraid of shipping. Feel free to click on products. Gotta have your stuff. Readings. Either myself, Tracy Hawkner, or Heather Roan Robbins, fantastic astrologer. Book a reading. It's fun. And the music you've been listening to, by the way, composed for us by Johnny M. Johnny's music is also available. Important to patronize the arts. Thank you so much. Bye now.